1-800-449-8255. Oh, before the shark was so rudely interrupted, I just heard a big boom outside, really loud. I don't know if my Android here, the golden EIB Sharkraphone Android, picked that up. But where I live here in San Diego County, I won't say which city or where, but somebody makes, I guess it's homemade explosives or homemade bombs, and they're really loud and they're so terrifying when they go off at 4:10 a.m. in the morning, as it is right now. It's just frightening, you guys. And I just got riveted, scared or something, or it sounded like it was right outside my window. But and I've read about this in the news where the police around here are like, we got to find whoever's making these firecrackers, the homemade M80s or M1000s or cherry bombs. I don't know what they are, you guys, but they are loud and powerful. They literally shake your house, shake your windows. And I will swear my windows have almost cracked. But anyway, I don't know why I'm talking about three-piece bands, because King Crimson was never a three-piece band, but there are a lot of people that think this was/is a three-piece, and they're not, you guys. And neither really was Genesis. Genesis had three guys, but when they would play live, they had Daryl Sturmer and Chester Thompson. It was never a three-piece. I don't even know if they ever play as a three-piece. I think sometimes flippantly or whatever, live, they might do it to show they can do it or whatever. Or, I don't know. But in my band, I had a three-piece band, the Greenhouse Effect, as you all know, because you guys apparently just can't get enough of my music. And a lot of you email me and you're like, how come you don't get a lot of views on YouTube, but you got a lot of views for your music? And that's because my music's on Vimeo almost exclusively now. I can't put my music on YouTube, or I can't really put anything on YouTube, you guys. You have to be very careful, because the liberal Democrats or socialists or whatever they are, maybe they might even be like atheist libertarians, I don't know. But the robot AI people at YouTube will ban and delete your videos. And I don't want that to happen with the newest edition of the Clark the Shark Show. So I'm very careful. I know just what to do, the guidelines. I can swear, I can use profanity, and things like that. But I got to be right on the edge, you guys, and walk on eggshells, really walk a tightrope here. But a lot of you guys email me and you're like, Clark the Shark, we're confused about GE. We always see you and we see the red-haired guy. And, of course, the guy with the big bun of red, the mop top of red on top, they call him Red Top in the South Bay, Redondo, or Ted Rop, which evolved into just Ted. And, of course, that's Rick Carmody, the bass player. The very infamously, or maybe famously, the bass player of GE, the Greenhouse Effect in the South Bay. And him and me are always in the band, and we're the only two. The other 16 or 28 guys are usually drummers, and and then of course there's an evolving door of drummers coming and going forever with my band. We broke up long ago. I just got sick of all the different drummers, you guys, but some of them had things to offer, like the guy Pele was really funny. He wasn't the world's greatest drummer, but he was so funny. His image was perfect. Of course, Marty Silva from San Pedro, amazing drummer, incredible. And Greg Tarpley from, I guess, Hermosa or Redondo or Torrance or Gardena, I'm not sure. But famously, all around the world now, they know him as a great kind of a punk rock drummer. I shouldn't say punk. He is a tight punk rock drummer in that spirit, or at least he was back in GE. And GE was very diverse. I mean, we could be metal, or we could be punk, or psychedelic, or prog, or whatever. I mean, we were whatever the moment called for. But me and Ted, in a three-piece band, there's always these two guys. and the drummer or something like that. And me and Ted were those two guys, mainly just me. It was like a solo project with those other two guys with me all the time, but not really, it was a band. But, and a lot of people are like, well, Shark, you got into, prog rock, way back in the day, just because of your brother Paul listening to Genesis mainly, the Peter Gabriel years. And I don't know, I over time, and then I met that guy Tom Shannon, the really talented bass player singer from Death and Taxes and Technicolor Yawn in the South Bay, who played with that guitarist Harrison Pearl, who was really rad guitar, and that other dude, the Christian guy, I forget his name, who was in Death and Taxes right up to the very end when Tom Shannon sadly passed away, I believe. I'm not sure. I think that one guy on guitar was. And then they had a million different drummers, I think, or maybe just two or three. But the drummers, that three-piece band had to be incredible drummers to play all those difficult time signatures, which we in the South Bay learned from things like King Crimson, Genesis, ELP, Yes, and all that. And yeah, man, the weird thing about me, Clark the Shark, I'm into everything. I'm from the South Bay, and it's like obligatory that I got to be into punk rock. I know all the punkers in town and all that, but then there's also this thing where I'm into new wave and Devo and shit like that, and Oingo Boingo, and, but people are surprised to find out that Clark the Shark is a huge, huge proggy, probably more into progressive rock than anything. And I know more about it than you do out there. Believe me, you guys, I've been listening to it since I was 12 in 1977, back in Redondo Beach, Torrance. And in all around the South Bay. And of course, meeting Tom Shannon, guys like that, was important for me. And other progressive players, I was never really accepted by that community because people thought of me, was 4/4, a really great drummer, pretty good guitar player, singer, things like that. But there's limitations to what Sharky can do. That is the general word on the streets. And it's true to a degree, but I can go in the studio and patch together and piece together songs like nobody can. And believe you me, you guys, In the Court of the Crimson King by King Crimson is not a hack job or a patch job at all. This is serious music by guys that really know how to play. And I wish this original lineup could have stayed together for 10 years. It's just a bummer, you guys, that it didn't. But what a time 1969 was. I don't even care what the stars say, the reviews. I know it's going to get 5 or 4. It better get 5, you guys. Oh, dude, yeah, it does. Come on. What did Rolling Stone give it? What did those guys? There ain't even, oh, dude, Rolling Stone is gutless. Music Hound. What did All Music give it? 5, of course, dude. All About Jazz. Yeah, fuck yeah, you guys. Come on. Who gave it a 4? Who's Music Hound? Pitchfork. 10 out of 10, baby. But gutlessly, Rolling Stone is not in this list. They're so protective of their cred. Like, they ought to know, dude, you fucking Nimrods. Of course you fucking like King Crimson. Come on. Right here on the Clark the Shark Show. And side 1 greets you with an incredible song, you guys. Covered by ELP and others. 21st Century Schizoid Man. Yeah. Incredible. Breaks into just incredible instrumentations. intricate, difficult, but melodic, atmospheric, prog, catchy, you name it. I Talk to the Wind, McDonald and Sinfield. One of my favorite songs by King Crimson, and it's not even by Robert Fripp or Greg Lake. I Talk to the Wind. I love it. And of course, Epitaph. One of those long 849. But all 849 of it is awesome, you guys. Side one is incredible. If you want to hear technical, intricate playing, super difficult, super talented musicianship, it is this album, and it is these guys. Not a three-piece, you guys. No way. Moonchild, 1213, Fripp, McDonald. I wonder if Brian Eno could have added some fucking crazy shit to this album. Yeah, baby, you know he could have and would have. And of course, in the court of the Crimson King, one of the greatest songs in the history of rock and roll, McDonald and Sinfield, 926. The Return of the Fire Witch, Dance of the Puppets. This is beyond prog. This is weird rock music, atmospheric, melodic, difficult, dreamy. It's not really escapism, because when you listen to this, you are being held hostage by brilliant. Believe me, you are not escaping, and you don't want to. You want to drench yourself in every succulent note of this incredible album, you guys, from 1969. It's beyond prog rock. It's it took all these different guys in the band to play it. And, you know, lineup changes be damned. I still love the word King Crimson as a brand. Put on CDs and vinyls, I will listen to it, no matter who is in the band playing with Robert Fripp in the moment at the time. Yeah, baby, I want to hear it. And I've listened to all of the albums called King Crimson, even though I'm always kind of walking away from them like, you know, this is that phase or that's this phase, you know, of the group, and I don't like this phase, I like that phase. And, you know, I just wish bands could stay together. But, you know, bands have guys that hate each other or disagree about musical direction or whatever. Right here on the Clark the Shark Show. And believe you me, in GE, I have seen that. Everybody's like, you know, we're sick of Shark. It's his way or the highway. He's got to call all the shots. And, you know, I don't know. That might be true or that might not be. But I know in a three-piece band, there's usually a leader. There's the little blonde-haired guy up front. Sometimes it might even be the drummer, you know, in the back. It could even be the bass player who's shredding on bass and singing at the same time. I think of Geddy Lee as like the leader of Rush. I know a lot of you do. Even though Neil Peart from the drums, the incredible greatest drummer of all time, he's really the leader of Rush. You know, he writes the words and his drumming is incredible, you guys. It's unmistakable. There's only one guy that drums that good or drums like that. Maybe Carl Palmer could give him a run for his money. Or the guy in this band, you guys, in King Crimson on this album. Oh yeah, dude, he could. This is really technical jazz here. But, you know, when you think of Rush, you don't think of Alex Lifeson as the leader, although he's very important in his band. You could tell he comes up with the melodic atmospheres and all that. But you kind of think Geddy Lee from the bass with his weird voice, like he's the leader, but the incredible drumming of Peart, you think it's the leader too. But in King Crimson, on this album, I think of like Greg Lake is the leader, you guys. I do, even though, it's arguable, it's debatable. Maybe he's not, you know, Robert Fripp, everyone knows, you know, he is the leader. He's always in King Crimson, you guys. He's like red-haired Ted Ropp, Rick Carmody, the bassist of GE, who is always in GE, but not the leader. But Robert Fripp is always in King Crimson, so I guess that makes him the leader. And I'm sure Greg Lake back in the day was like, dude, I'm the leader. And Fripp's like, no, bro, I'm the leader. But you got this guy, Ian McDonald, flute, saxophone, woodwind, and shit. And of course, Michael Giles, the incredible drummer. And this guy who writes lyrics. Just everything on this first album's incredible. Jazzy, technical, intricate, atmospheric, melodic. This album has it all. And I want all of you, especially if you're just 20 years old, right here in 2023, November 27, 28, 2023. If you were born in 2003, 2 years after 9/11, 2 years after those jets crashed in to the Twin Towers, you're 20. You don't even remember 9/11, dude. I want you to put down the Justin Bieber and the Foo Fighters and Green Day and the Blink 182 and Taylor Swift. Fuck all that shit. You no longer listen to that. Now, 20-year-old born in 2003, you're going to go get into King Crimson, every album, but in particular this one from 1969, In the Court of the Crimson King, with just this incredible, amazing album cover that is so scary, you guys. I don't want to think into it. It's just frightening, and yeah, I don't want to have nightmares about it, you guys, but if you look at this cover long enough, you just might. So I don't recommend staring at this bizarre, artistic, impressionistic cover that is really, really just riveting, frightening. This has got to be one of the greatest vinyl album sleeves ever, you guys. For this cover alone, this band, this project, Robert Fripp, all these guys, Giles, they got to go into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I mean, Greg Lake could be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame just for this one album, you guys. I'm not kidding. So could Robert Fripp and all these guys, Giles, every one of them. Come on, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I hope King Crimson, the project, all these guys are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I don't think they are, and I know that Emerson, Lake and Palmer isn't, but what about the Nice? What about all these bands like Soft Machine back in the 60s? Yeah, dude, you guys at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame are clueless, you got to think deeper. Dave Grohl and all that fucking weak shit, or that crappy commercial garbage, dude, or Phil Collins. That's not the guys who used to be good or great once, and then they got kind of fucking shitty later to make money or whatever, dude. I kind of lose respect for that. I don't think Greg Lake ever really sold out, but he's too melodic and a great singer and a talented, atmospheric artist to sell out. I mean, anything Greg Lake does, even when he jammed with Asia, even if it was just for a little while, he's one of those guys that can't sell out because he's just so talented and incredible. Now, a lot of people think that John Wetton is on this album, In the Court of the Crimson King, 1969. But he would join this band much later, you guys. And of course, he was also in Uriah Heep, too. Such a Rock and Roll Hall of Famer there that doesn't get appreciated enough, you guys. John Wetton. Not on this album, but, Greg Lake, Robert Fripp, and of course, with Roxy Music, Brian Eno, incredible. And then later, Fripp and Eno, of course, those guys would make fucking insane music together. But you also got to check out My Life in the Bush of Ghosts, Eno and David Byrne. Simply one of Clark the Shark's favorite albums, you guys, of weird, twisted, almost like new wave if it dropped acid or ludes or mushrooms or something. I mean, you gotta fucking check that out. Right here on the Clark the Shark show, you guys, you gotta check out everything, where my show, of course, is #1 worldwide. Even if YouTube shadow bans me or doesn't show my views, or I'm never going to buy fake views to my channel like a lot of these album record, vinyl reviewer guys, CD reviewer guys. They buy 60,000 fake views. They're not fooling anyone, you guys. Nobody gets a lot of views at this, even if you have a lot of subscribers. I mean, it's just true. The guys who know music, you can tell those guys, bro, when you listen to a reviewer who's lived it. Like me, Clark the Shark, the way I grew up in Redondo and Torrance, listening to these albums on my Walkman or downstairs at 251 Paseo de Gracia. Listening to King Crimson, not just this album, but all the albums, you guys. Not just Robert Fripp, but Fripp and Eno, or, Eno and David Byrne, or, Eno with Roxy Music. Come on, you guys. I mean, some of these guys who are heavy metal people listening to Def Leppard, and then they think they know everything, about every Led Zeppelin, or if somebody's reviewing Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, and Fleetwood Mac, or like Garth Brooks or some shit, chances are they don't know fucking shit about anything. Not just about music, but about politics or about life or anything. Right here on the Clark the Shark show, where you will come here. I won't even have to force you, baby. You'll do it naturally because you know where the truth is. And it is right here at the Clark the Shark show, the #1 syndicated radio talk show host all over the universe, on Jupiter, Venus, Mars, Andromeda, Saturn, where the rings are disappearing, and Neptune, but especially, you guys, of course, on Uranus. #1, that's Clark the Shark, 1-800-449-8255 from the fabulous golden EIB Sharkraphone. It's not a microphone, you guys. It's a Sharkraphone, given to me by Dick Clark, because his name is Dick Clark, and I'm a fucking dick, and my name is Clark the Shark, right here, baby. And you just got the truth, the gospel, the word, the only review of this incredible progressive rock, weird, strange album that is dark and scary, and yet hopefully melodic, atmospheric, dexterous, you guys. So hard to play this shit. So hard to even understand what the fuck this band is doing, but it is so beautiful, so melodic, so captivating that I want you to listen to it and buy it at Spotify, Amazon, iTunes, especially if you're just 19 years old in 2023 and you were born in, 2004. Come on, you guys, 2004 births. I want you to buy In the Court of the Crimson King, and don't start, getting on YouTube saying how you know it, and you know it better than Clark the Shark, because you were born in 2008, and you got to have indie cred, or you got to have prog cred, or you got to have fucking country cred with Garth Brooks, or you got to have this cred or that cred. It ain't about cred, you guys. It's about the love of the music, the love of the melody, the love of the chord changes, the love of the atmospheres. Forget credibility, who has more followers or subscribers or more fake views that they buy on YouTube. Dude, it doesn't mean a fucking thing. What matters is you have talent, vision, and that you're a fucking genius. And a lot of you out there, dude, try as you may, you'll never fucking be a genius like Clark the Shark, and you won't have my cred no matter what the fuck you do or try, because I lived it and I suffered it, you guys. I'm from a fucking family where they didn't even want me born. Dude, you know, a lot of you grew up in families that loved you, put you in college and all that shit. Well, me, I come from a place where they didn't. And that's why I'm right here on the Clark the Shark show telling you that you're going to get into this music. King Crimson, Genesis, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Peter Gabriel, yes, you know, Steve Howe, Chris Squire, John Anderson, Eloy, you know, Jethro Tull, Gentle Giant, fuck, dude, Vandergraaf Generator, all those fucking shit, dude. You're going to get into all this amazing shit. The Who, Tommy, Quadrophenia, Who's Next. You're going to get into this amazing music, not necessarily because I, Clark the Shark, have the fucking cred to get you into it. I want you to not grow cred. I want you to grow love in your heart for the music. And that's why you get into music. That's why you play music. You're not doing it to impress people. You're doing it because you fucking love the song. You worship the song. You praise the song, baby. And you praise the Shark-a-doodle-doo, the Shark-a-llama-ding-dong right here on the Clark the Shark show. Be here every night because I'm going to review fucking amazing albums always just for you that I want you to buy and get into, like King Crimson 1969, In the Court of the Crimson King. You guys, buy this fucking album. And I'm out of here, people. Peace.